Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is currently 2:02 a.m. on this rainy, muggy October evening. What is tonight? Wednesday evening, going into Thursday. It is currently 66 degrees outside as I wander on the lonely streets of Indianapolis with my thoughts. Well, I guess it's not too lonely since there's a car right behind me. And I was just driving around listening to a little music. Plugged my phone in because I only have 20% of battery left and I want to listen to my audiobook when I get done vlogging. I'm going to listen to an hour of my audiobook, and then I'm going to listen to some of my true crime podcast. I was like posting the different podcasts that I've listened to on my Instagram story tonight, and I didn't realize, like, I've listened to quite a few podcasts recently. I started with Tom Brown's Body, and then I finished that, and I listened to Your Own Backyard. And then I listened to The Orange Tree. And now I'm listening to Paper Ghosts, which is about 4 girls that went missing in the 70s and something about a house fire and they're all found in this house fire or something. I don't know. Anyway, it seems to be the most kind of like professionally done one of the 4 that I've listened to so far. Oh, that's not necessarily true. Your Own Backyard was pretty, well, I mean, they're all done by like people that are interested in the stories. And I think like one of the aspects of true crime podcasts that I like so well is when they're done, I wouldn't say amateurish, because like the investigations and the research that they do is not amateurish at all, but when it sounds just like somebody talking into, you know, a recorder. I like that. That's like super soothing to me and interesting to listen to. I think I would probably rank them so far that I've listened to them in that order. I would say that Tom Brown's Body was the best that I've listened to so far, the most interesting. And then Your Own Backyard. I don't know, those are kind of a close tie. For me, Tom Brown's Body was shorter than Your Own Backyard. And then The Orange Tree. There are so many twists and turns in The Orange Tree. You know, I was thinking about this last night, like, I don't know, like, they did a better job at it by the time that I finished it. So I finished it last night, and they did a really nice job on it. I was really impressed with the 2 girls that did it, and I think it started as like a college project. I have 2 Diet Cokes with me tonight. It started as like a college project for like their communications degree or something like that. Ah, almost broke my nail. But they did a really nice job with it. I think they tried to do a comprehensive podcast. I think for me, and you're kind of left in the podcast not really knowing what, I mean, nobody really knows what happened that night. I mean, somebody knows, but nobody really knows, right? And I think for me, the thing that was hard listening to it was the humanization of, which is, I mean, they talk about why they did that in there, but was the humanization of the killer or the supposed killer, and that they almost get you to kind of sympathize with him a little bit. But I mean, it's also left a question at the end on if he's responsible for it. So that kind of is part of the podcast. So yeah, but it was good. It was good too. And then I'm listening to The House of Gucci. I think I'm like 3.5 hours into it right now. My nose is driving me crazy. I'm like 3.5 hours into it. It hasn't really gotten into the story of Mauricio and Patricia yet. I thought it was going to, because it was talking about them getting married and things like that. It just got so hot in this car. But now it's more talking about the one grandson of Gucci, who's kind of like, he wanted to go out on his own, and now he's suing the family and the company, and they're trying to keep it intact. It's really interesting how it was like such a, it is such a family run and owned business. So it's kind of going through this somewhat of a boring part right now. They're talking about a lot of legal stuff. I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying to listen to like an hour to an hour and a half a day so that I have it done in time on like by Saturday evening. So I'm ready to go into it on Sunday. And then I think on Sunday I'm going to listen to, unless I get it done before then, I'm going to listen to a cozy mystery. And then I think I'm going to listen to one of the Peter's Book Club books for October. Not sure which one yet. I still need to take the picture for that. I forgot all about that. Oh. Today was a good day. But I have so much stuff going on that has like nothing to do with YouTube right now, that today I was like, I had this plan to get all these videos done before I went and did the stuff that I needed to do today. And I've got a bunch of stuff tomorrow too. I've got a really busy week. I didn't think I really did, but then it kind of like, I started realizing I had all these appointments and stuff, and recovery commitments and all kinds of stuff that I had to do. And so I've got a lot to do tomorrow, and I've got a lot to do, well, every day, really. Saturday, we are going to the couple's baby shower that Alex and his friend planned for our other friend and her husband. And that's during the day. And then Sunday, Alex has like a work chili cook-off, and I think it starts at like 1, and so we're gonna go. He'll probably stay later than me because I have the book club at 4 o'clock on Sunday, and so we're gonna go to that, and then I'm gonna leave about 3 and come home to do the book club, and that's on Sunday. Plus I want to film videos on Saturday and Sunday, so I've kind of like been in my head like planning out how I want to do that, and like the timing and the scheduling, because it's not just the filming of the videos, it's like the rendering and the uploading of videos too. Like I have to be sitting there to do that stuff. Like it just can't do it on its own, you know? So I'm like kind of trying to plan out my weekend. I actually work much better when I have like a lot of things that I want to get done. I actually work a lot better. But today I was just like running behind on everything, and so by the time that I got home and got stuff done, it was like, well, by then I was just kind of relaxing, and I wanted to make this one video of my pumpkin on my front porch that died and fell apart. It ended up turning out to be a kind of funny video, but I was going to go into it making kind of like an endearing video, but I knew that I had to throw it away in the trash because our trash comes tomorrow. So I knew I wanted to film that video, but because I was kind of just like running all day, I was like, okay, I don't know that I'm going to be able to film any videos today. So I ended up not filming any videos except for uploading the vlog and uploading a video on my Peter Does Stuff channel. There hasn't been, like, for the drama channel, there hasn't really been a bunch of stuff going on to talk about over there, you know? So we'll see. And like with Starbucks drinks and stuff, I think what I need to start doing is, for the review, is like the morning of, or like the morning of. I think like on Sundays, when I make my like, cause I do like a list of the week, but it's just kind of like real brief. I think I need to go in and I need to make a list of like, I just am not this kind of like YouTuber. I feel like everybody that I know, other than drama channels, like really work this way. Like I've talked to so many YouTubers that are like, well, on the 16th, my such and such video goes up, right? And it's interesting because often like they'll refer to them as like sponsored videos. Like they won't say the title of the video. And this is like I said, like I've talked to a lot of people that like drama channels, and I think because it's, you know, we kind of rely on like what's happening that day or the day before, that we don't think that way. But it's interesting, like I've talked to YouTubers in the past and they'll be like, yeah, my discount tire sponsorship video has to go up on the 16th or something like that, you know? And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's interesting to me, but that they think that way, and like they're so planned out, you know? But on my channel, on that channel, it's a little bit different. Like, you know, I'm doing videos that are, well, I do that on all my channels. Like, I don't know that I could get up and like really have like thought things out like 6 months in advance. You know, that I'm gonna do this video, then I'm gonna do that video, and whatever. But I do think for my review channel, for me to kind of like research a little bit of like what new things, food items are out, and then go to the store and buy the ones that I'm gonna like review at home, or if it's something that, you know, I want to like something as seen on TV, which I haven't done a lot of those in a long time. I actually have a box in the basement of stuff that I bought and never did. But you know, just to kind of plan out my reviews for the week, like I think that would be really helpful. Because that seems to always be the first video that I do every day, is my review video. Because typically what I would do is I would go to Starbucks and I would do a review. I would like get on totallythebomb.com and I would pick a drink. But the problem is that the majority of the drinks that are on totallythebomb.com, most Starbucks don't have the ingredients it takes to make those drinks. So it's become more and more difficult to make the secret menu drinks, which I really enjoy doing. I know a lot of people are like, this is just a Starbucks channel, but I really enjoy doing it over there. You know, I always said from the beginning I was going to make the videos that I wanted to make, and if people enjoyed them, people enjoyed them. If they didn't, well, there's a million other channels on YouTube to watch. But I really enjoy doing the secret menu drinks, Starbucks drinks. But there's so many other things too, you know. And in fact, I went to the grocery store tonight and I found this new brand of like vegan Chinese food. And it's like things you would get at the Chinese restaurant, like General Tso's chicken, but it's like General Tso's tofu, which I said I don't like tofu, and I don't like tofu, but I'm willing to try it if it is gonna taste like General Tso's chicken. And I got like 3 of them. And then there were like these sausage breakfast patties that were Beyond Meat. And so I might do this one actually tomorrow. And so I was thinking about comparing Beyond Meat sausage patties to Morningstar sausage patties to this other brand that are really gross, that I don't like. Because a lot of people ask me, they're like, would you do like vegetarian or vegan reviews over here? And I think that's because like that's the stuff that I eat every day, that like I don't think that way, you know, that people would be interested in that. I try to do ones that I think people would be interested in, but I don't know, maybe I just need to start doing more regular stuff than that. I don't know. So yeah. So I didn't end up making any videos today. And then tomorrow, I have like a ton of stuff to do tomorrow too. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna fit in all of this stuff. Not even just videos, but on top of that, so. But I'm going to. But I think that's sometimes like why my videos have been getting up so late, because I've been, you know, getting home and after doing stuff. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I did that stuff, and then I came home, and then I filmed that. Well, Alex got home real early today. And then I filmed that pumpkin video. I actually, while I was getting ready to film it, it was kind of like drizzling off and on today, or like not drizzling, but like just like raining a little bit, but like not hard. And I filmed that video, and I came inside, and it, like, my neighbors were these two neighbors, these two women. Well, one of them I didn't know. The other one I know really, really well. I knew her before she ever moved into our condo neighborhood. And she's really, I mean, I've known her for like 14 years, something like that. She's really sweet. And she always said she wanted to live in that neighborhood, and I didn't believe her. And she's always like, if you, so she worked for somebody that I knew. And so whenever I would see her, she'd always be like, if there's condos available in that neighborhood, let me know. I'd love to live in there. And I always kind of just thought she was joking. She's like, well, she would say like, I would like to come and look at one or something. And I always just kind of thought that she was joking. And I was like, oh, okay. And then like 2.5 years ago, I was sitting outside on the front porch, and she walked by, and I was like, oh my God, how long have you lived here? And she was like, I moved in like a year ago. She was like, I told you I always wanted to live in here. And she was like, and then the condo that I was looking for, she wanted to be on the water, and she wanted it to be like where she was private, like she backed up. Cause like, so some of the lake views back up to houses that are like actually not in our neighborhood. And some of them back up to like the lake and then condos. And she wanted to be one where it backed up to the houses. And so she found the one that she liked, and she wanted I think it's a 2 or 3 bedroom, but she wanted like single floor and 2-car garage, and she wanted it on a cul-de-sac, and she got all of that. So she found the condo that she wanted. Actually, Caroline sent me our unit. I didn't even actually look at this. This was earlier today, and I was like running around. Caroline sent me so there's a unit that's like our unit. Well, she said it sold, but it was our unit, and I guess it was for sale before that, obviously. But it was our unit, but they had redone the entire inside, including the basement. They had like closed off the basement. And so she was like, you should look at this and see if it gives you any ideas. And I wanted to look at this really quick. She was like, you should look at it and see if it gives you any ideas for the basement. But she was like, they put a bathroom down there, and they have a laundry room. And I said, well, that's what, this is probably, there's one in our neighborhood that I went and looked at one time. Wait, Alex and I were sending TikToks to each other. Where's Carol? Oh, here she is. Okay. God, it's so weird. I mean, it is literally the exact same setup. How do they have their front yard, their front walk? Oh, they have a little fence. Well, we could do that. That's cute. Oh, I see what they have going on here. Well, we could definitely do that. Oh, wow. How did they do that? Oh my God, Alex is gonna die when he sees this place. Caroline told me they moved the kitchen. And she was like, I wondered how they moved the kitchen. Oh my God, Alex is gonna die, you guys, when he sees this. This is like his dream condo. I don't really understand how the closet works. Over here. Oh my God, when he sees the bathroom, upstairs bathroom, he's gonna die. Where is this? Oh, this is the basement. Oh, they knocked that wall out. I see what they did. And they put a full basement and bedroom downstairs. Okay. I sent it to Alex. I was like, this is the exact same unit that somebody had redone in our neighborhood. And I was like, don't freak out. It's really nice. Well, the whole thing is like all like whitewashed barn flooring and then white brick walls. Like the fireplace, they painted white. And they redid the whole basement and knocked out a wall and made it a second full bedroom with an attached master bath in the basement. Plus there's also like an area, like a sitting area down there that you could have like a TV and stuff. And then upstairs where our kitchen is actually a sitting area. And they moved the whole kitchen over to where like the dining room and like where I upload videos and stuff. Alex is gonna see this and he's gonna be like, this is exactly what I wanna do. And I'm gonna be like, you do realize this is like a $200,000 job, right? Like we can't afford this. I'd be interested to know who did the construction and contracting on it though. Because if you could find that out and they had already done theirs, they could just come in and do the exact same thing to ours, you know? Especially on the basement, and give us a quote for what they gave them. Caroline should be able to find that information out, I would think. He was still looking at TikToks when I left, but I probably woke him up because it's later now. So anyway, then tonight I ended up going to the grocery store Well, I wanted to listen to a little bit of this podcast. So I went and I got a coffee after Alex, like, he came home and stuff. So we sat there and talked for a second, and then he fed the dogs. And I was like, I'm gonna go get a coffee and just like unwind for a second, because I've been going. And so I got a apple macchiato from Starbucks, which I don't ever usually get. And then it was like pouring down. I mean, it was raining so hard that I almost like couldn't even pull through Starbucks. So I was like, I waited for a second until it like stopped raining so hard, and then I got a coffee, and then I was like driving and listening to this podcast, and I went to the grocery store for one reason and one reason only, is that I was craving sugar cream pie. And so I wanted to go to the grocery store to get one, and I ran into this girl that's actually the old roommate of the girl that that Alex is having the baby shower for on Saturday. So I sat there and I talked to her for a long time, because she had just gotten back from New York City. And so she and I sat there and talked in the grocery store for probably like 10 minutes. And she was like, I'll see you on Saturday. And I was like, okay, I'll see you on Saturday. That was kind of fun. It was funny. It was like, I went to the grocery store over by where my apartment used to be. And I can remember like being single and like working out every single day. Like, I mean, I was at the, like, when I went through my last breakup, like, I was at the gym, you guys, 7 days a week. I was running every single day. I worked out at this gym called Snap Fitness, and it was like a 24-hour gym, and I would go there, and I can remember, like, after work, and I would be, like, one of the only ones in there. It was this small little gym, but it had, like, you know, free weights, and, I mean, it's actually not a whole lot bigger than, like, those kind of little gyms that are popped up everywhere now, you know, or that are everywhere now. And, so I would go work out there, and then afterwards I would go to the grocery store and I would get something to eat for dinner, and or to like bring something home. And you know, I was much younger then. I was 36, 35, and it was funny because like when I was at the grocery store tonight, like, I could remember, like, they've redone the whole grocery store, but it's still kind of like the setup is the same and stuff. And I remember like going there with Tanya after like meetings and whatever, and I don't know, it was just weird being there tonight. It was kind of like comforting, and because I don't go to that grocery store like ever anymore. And I was like, and I saw a lot of people like, well, she was like in workout clothes, so I think it kind of got me thinking that she was like in like Pilates outfit. And I was thinking, you know, like, I don't know, there just was a lot of people in there that were like mid-30s that were like professional, living in the area, you know, that were like getting their dinner stuff for the night. It reminded me of back in the day. I don't know, it's funny. So then I ended up going in for a sugar cream pie, and I came out $54 poorer. I got everything bagel, hummus, and I got 2 different kinds of pita bread. And then I got, it's like these little pita bread things. Actually, I will tell you, I saw them at Costco when I did my video at Costco, the Peter Knows Stuff video. I saw them for like half the price in a bigger container. But, of course, I don't go to Costco and get them. Our refrigerator isn't very big either. We have, like, a hard time storing stuff. Like, when we went and bought all of that food, like $300 worth of food at Costco, and then we had other stuff that had been, like, you know, Amazon sent to us, like, when we ordered, you know, food from Amazon. And then I was stopping and getting, like, soup and stuff because we knew that we were going to be locked down for so long. We couldn't even fit the stuff in our pantry and in our refrigerator. Like, our refrigerator was, like, packed full to the brim. But anyway, I got some of that. And they have, like, a new kind of pita bread that has, like, cracked pepper in it or something like that. I don't know. It looked like it had pepper or something in it. It looked good. It looked kind of like a bagel, actually. So, or like an everything bagel. So, with sesame seeds or something, you know. So, I got that. And then some new kind of cheese dip. And then these chocolate caramel covered pretzels. And then, it stopped. And what else did I get? I got the sugar cream pie, which was delicious. You just thaw it, or you put it in. It's a local bakery here, and they're like some of the best pies ever. I think it's called Wix pies. They're so good. Those are Jim Dandy are like my 2 favorite pies in the entire world. Taylor's Bakery has like good cakes and stuff, and I've gotten their pies there before, but I wouldn't say that Taylor's, like, their dinner rolls, their cakes, their cookies, their donuts are like out of this world. But like for pies, like Jim Dandy or this like Wix pie, I think it's what it's called. I really like those. Oh, they have those Roslyn Bakery Sweetheart rolls there too. Okay, let's see. What else did I get? I got some other stuff. Whipped cream for the pie, which I didn't even put on the pie tonight. And I got these 3 meals that are like these vegan meals. And then I got some of those vegan sausage patties, Beyond Meat. And I don't remember what else. There was a section in the frozen food section. I don't know why this frustrated me, but it said plant-based. Like when you would open, you know, like the doors, it said like plant-based. I trimmed my beard, and I did not trim this part right here, and it's like long, and it's driving me crazy, and I need to just like trim it up. But anyway, do you remember that used to always, like, I would talk and my beard would drive me crazy? That hasn't happened in a long time. So, but there were these sections. It was on 2 different sides that had 2 doors, and above the doors, like it would say, you know, like breakfast or like desserts or cakes and pies or pizzas. And it was like a placard thing, like a really nice placard thing, you know? And they were all said pizzas. That's where the pizzas were. Well, there were 2 doors on one side and 2 doors on the other side. There's like 5 whole rows of frozen stuff that said plant-based. So I'm going through there and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, and it's all these like chicken masala meals and things like that. It was like, and I was confused. I was like, because sometimes you'll see plant-based meals, but it'll say like small, like meatless chicken tenders or something, right? And so like I'm reading these boxes, and they were brands I'd never heard of before, and I was like, okay, I've been craving, you know, chicken tikka masala for a long time. So if I could find a vegan version of that without having to make it myself, I would love that. So I'm looking, and because one of the things I got was cauliflower. It was supposed to be like orange chicken, but it's cauliflower. And so I'm looking, and I'm like, and that was like to the left. And I'm like, this is not plant-based stuff. Like this, it was all like, it had meat in it. And I was like, you know, to somebody that's just not even thinking about it, going, oh, this meal looks good, and it's just assuming that it's in the plant-based section. I mean, yes, it's your responsibility to read all that stuff, but I was like, there's a lot of people that would just throw it in the cart and not think otherwise, go home and cook it up, you know? But anyway, then I came home, and then I had asked Alex before I left if he was hungry, and he said yeah, because he didn't eat lunch today. And so I said, I was kind of surprised. I really wanted cheesy garlic bread, and I really wanted a salad from Maggiano's. I'm like, been craving Maggiano's like crazy lately. They have the best cheesy garlic bread, and I think their salads are the best ever. And of course I get pasta, but I don't really need it. Look at McDonald's, because they are the only fast food restaurant open. They are literally packed on a Wednesday night, like packed. So I ordered Maggiano's, and for both of us. I asked Alex if he wanted a double portion, because you can get a double portion and just add like a couple extra dollars. Why is this battery dying already? What? I didn't film one. Oh, I did that. I did the Peter Does Stuff video on here. We'll have to pull it here in a second and change it. But anyway, I asked Alex if he wanted an extra portion, and he was like, yeah, sure, I'll take it. You know, he can have it for lunch tomorrow or whatever. So when you go into double portion, it asks you the questions again on the online order. This was kind of my day, okay? This is kind of how my day went. And so it says like, pick your protein. Or no, it says, do you want chicken, shrimp, or something else, like in your salad? Like, you just have to pick one of those if you want it. If you don't, you just go down. And I just went down and I picked extra Caesar dressing, because he wanted a chicken Caesar salad. Extra Caesar dressing, and that was it. And got out of it. And so I get home, and there's no chicken. Because if you order it I had ordered it, and then I was like, do you want... And on that one, I had picked the chicken. But then when I said double order, it went back, and it, like, recreated, you know, like it started it over again or something. So he was like, babe, there's no chicken on this salad. I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, do you want me to go back? I'll go back there and get some chicken for you. He was like, no, it's not that big of a deal. So... But if you have never had the garlic cheesy bread from Maggiano's, I don't even know what you're doing with your life, because it is so good. Okay, I'm going to change this battery and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. So then, I went and picked it up, and then we sat and ate, and we watched 2 episodes of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and then we watched an episode, the season finale of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and we watched Watch What Happens Live, Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen's got the 411. He is so cute. And, we watched the one that had Dorit and, Jennifer Tilly on it. Who Jennifer Tilly is, like, really good friends with Sutton Strack from Beverly Hills, which really surprises me. But I will tell you that because yet another episode was dedicated to the life of Erica Giardi tonight, and I'm so bored of it. Erica Jane. Because all she wants to talk about is how hard of a year she's had. Not once thinking about all those poor people that were scammed by her husband to pay for all of her designer clothes, but and I know she's had a hard time. I mean, I get it. I know she has, right? But like, you know, I think Sutton's issue on the show is that, like, Erica's stories don't match up, right? Even like if her attorneys were telling her she couldn't talk about things, like, and it's not just like, it's like significantly they don't match up, you know? Or she'll come out and say something that she's never told them before, and it's all like, really? Really? Oh, they're all, like, Alex tonight was like, Lisa Rinna acts so surprised every time Erica says something new. So anyway, I was just kind of like sitting there, and I was like Wikipedia each of the people that are on there that I'm interested in this season. So just so if you want to know, Sutton Strack is, her estimated net worth is $50 million. Kathy Hilton's, which I actually thought this was kind of low. Maybe it's her personal net worth. I don't know. Was, I think, $350 million. Kyle is actually, she's at $100 million, which that was surprising to me. And then I looked up Jennifer Tilly, because Alex was like, who is she? And I go, you don't know who Jennifer and Meg Tilly are? They're sisters, they're actresses. Meg Tilly was in The Big Chill. He was like, I don't know, she's weird. He kept on saying she was weird. And I was like, well, I kind of like her a little bit. But anyway, she is kind of different, but I like her. I've always liked Jennifer and Meg Tilly. I think they're so weird that they're like Meg Tilly and Agnes of God. Oh my God. Talk about a performance. What happened to her? She's kind of like Deborah Winger. She kind of just like fell off the face of the earth. Now I know whenever I say that about Deborah Winger was on that TV show on Netflix for a while. You guys, by the way, Jennifer Tilly is worth $25 million. $25 to $35 million. I made a list tonight of all of the current TV shows. Well, I didn't put on there like RuPaul's Drag Race UK, because I am watching that, or The Housewives. I didn't put that on there. But like all of my Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu shows, I wrote those down, and all the shows that I want to start. And I have 14 shows on my list. Alex is like, what is going on with these lists? He's like, you are making lists about... I am, though. I made a list of all the podcasts I want to listen to. I made a list of all the book series, which I just updated that list the other day. All the book series that I'm reading. And tonight I made a list. I have a list of movies that I want to see. And I have a list of all of my favorite people, and I rank them in order. No, I'm totally joking. I'm joking. I don't have that. No, tonight I made a list of, because I wanted to like be able to like know, like, because what happens is I'll be like, oh, I want to watch that show, and even if I put it on my list on like Netflix or whatever, like I don't go and watch it. So, unless everybody's talking about it or something, you know. So, and I think I have one Only Murders in the Building to catch up on. I think one came out on the 5th. So I put the shows down. I have 14 shows. I'll try to tell you what some of them are. Okay. Only Murders in the Building, Grace and Frankie. Those are the two that I'm watching right now. I might have put RuPaul's Drag Race UK, but I can't remember. Clickbait. I want to catch up on The Walking Dead. I have to start at season 7. I looked it up. I always ask on here what season it was that I ended on, but I looked it up tonight to find out. I was like, which season does Negan kill Glenn at the beginning? And it was the beginning of season 7, which I think I made it through halfway through season 7. But I'm just going to start with season 7. And then I'm also going to go and watch Fear the Walking Dead, which I think is on season 5 or 6. And, because I love zombie anything. And, I don't, but I think that I only made it like 3/4 of the way through the first series, or first season, maybe. Or maybe I made it like to the beginning of the second season. I can't remember. And then there's apparently a new, Walking Dead series called The World Beyond, which came out in 2020. And I think the second season is going on right now. So, I'm going to start watching that. I'm also going to catch up and watch Manifest. And I'm also going to catch up and watch Black Summer on Netflix. And then Cruel Summer. What else? The Last Man. I can't remember what else. But anyway, I have a list of 14 shows. So I've got enough shows to keep me busy for a while. I was thinking about this today. I was like, you know, I really just have the most amazing life. I really do, you know, and even though sad things happen every day, and, you know, I mean, I have real stuff and regular stuff that happens in my life, just like everybody else, you know. I have a friend of mine that's very, very dear to me. He's very sick right now. And, I'll talk about it when I feel like the time is appropriate. But, you know, I have real stuff like everybody else, you know, and, everybody's got stuff going on, you know? Everybody's got sickness and illness in their family or with their friends, and everybody's got stuff they're trying to figure out, you know? But, like, I was sitting there making that list, and I was like, I just really have such a blessed and amazing life, you know? I get to hang out in bed with my husband and my dogs, and, And it's not Tanya. It's not anybody that person that's sick. It's not anybody that it's somebody that is very important to me, but it's not somebody that I've talked about really on here a whole lot, which is why I'm not talking about it right now. But because I just don't want people speculating. It's not anybody that I've had on this show. I was gonna say it's not anybody that I've had, you know, in my videos or on my vlogs ever. They've never been on there, and if I've talked about them, I've never said their names. I've just talked about them in passing. But you know, it's still hard. This is why I didn't want to talk about it. Like, really sick. Like, they're not going to make it sick. And they know that, and we all know that, but, you know, I was sitting there and I was making that list today, and I was thinking to myself, you know, what an amazing life you have. What a blessed life you have. And you move your plants around on the front porch and talk to your neighbors, and you know, you get to make all these videos and interact with people, you know, that watch your stuff, and hang out with your husband and the dogs and Tanya, and, you know, family and friends and family, and listen to audiobooks and true crime podcasts and watch TV shows, and it's just like, yeah, I have this amazing life. And no, it's not like I have a super, super exciting life or anything like that, but it does kind of feel exciting to me on some level, you know? It's like, I've had a good life. Like, I've had a really good life. I think that when at any time in my life I've like been encountered with moments of, you know, real sickness or sadness, I think it makes me reflect upon my own life. And you know, we do exciting things. You know, we have traveled to exciting places. I do have an exciting life. I just mean, like, I don't know, like when I was growing up, what I thought, you know, exciting would be, I guess, being an FBI agent or living in Los Angeles filming movies every day. But, you know, I think today I wouldn't even want that. You know, I think I have as much as I can handle and as much as I want. You know? So, I don't know. Looking up at the clouds, they're like moving so fast. It's like one of those nights, you know, it's like almost like you're looking over, I don't know if you can see this, but it's like beautiful. You can see like over the tops of the trees. You can hear all the sounds outside, and all dark. I started telling the story and I said somebody's name because I'm just kind of sidetracked right now and I shouldn't have done that. So anyway, so funny, like, driving around when, like, everything is so quiet like this, you know? Somebody's in that hotel room up there and they're watching TV on the big screen. That's the hotel that we went to on Valentine's Day, and I think we should do that again this year. That was so much fun. And I watched Hell in the Heartland. I don't know why. That is such like a corny memory to have, but like that was such a fun, like, okay, so we went to the hotel and, you know, all that. And then we went to dinner and we met up with Jason and Melissa at Ruth Chris. We walked over there, had dinner at Ruth Chris, then came back, and Alex had to go to bed because he had to work the next morning. So he's like, you know, put his pajamas on and got into bed, and I'm like wide awake, you know? And I'm like, okay, I'd already kind of resigned to the fact that I was gonna vlog the next day. I think I vlogged the next day. I don't remember. Did I go out and come back? I wouldn't. Did I really do that? If I did, I don't remember, but maybe I did. But it was so funny because I can remember I was like in that hotel room, and you know, we were looking out on this road, this huge window. It was like, you know, the whole wall was just like a window that looked out over here. And so it started snowing at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning or something. I can't remember. It was late when it started snowing. And I was watching Hell in the Heartland on my iPad in bed with my AirPods in. And I was eating like treats in bed. I mean, after this huge meal that I had had at Ruth Chris, right? But I was eating like M&Ms and drinking this Dr. Pepper. And you know, when I had to go to the bathroom, like walking very quietly into the bathroom, and I can remember laying there in bed and Alex sleeping and the fan was on, and I was, you know, watching that show, and I can remember I was like terrified watching that documentary series. If you've never seen it, it's Hell in the Heartland. We had read the book by Jax Miller for our book club, and it, so I think it was right before that, and I was watching the documentary series because she then Jax Miller ended up coming into our live stream, which was really cool. So, so anyway, I was sitting there and I was watching it, and I was like terrified, like while I was like watching it in bed. And I don't know, it was just kind of like this very cozy memory. As scared as I was, it's funny how like being scared goes along with being cozy, but like as scared as I was, like it was such a, like I knew nobody could get me, and you know, whatever, but that was like such a fun memory. Another memory was the night that, I won't tell the whole story again because it's just like, I've told it so many times on here, but it's the time when our electricity went out because of the storms in the winter. And it was like January, February too, I can't remember when, but it was like ice storms, but snow on top of that, and it was like blowing snow, and our heat had gone out, and then we kind of were like waiting it out because they thought like, I mean, our electricity it wasn't just our heat, it was our electricity had gone out. And, but it must have been like February because it was really dark early out, like 4:30 it was dark outside, 4:35. And usually it doesn't get dark even that early in February here, but I think because of like the storm, I just remember it being, like it was like 6:30 and it was like super dark outside and there were no cars on the road. And, so like the electricity had gone off, like I think early that morning or maybe in the middle of the night or something like that. And we waited and we waited and we waited. And, you know, we're like trying to stay warm. And then finally, like our phones were dying. We didn't know what we were going to do. It was like literally at that point it had dropped below like, it was like close to like 55 degrees in our house. It was cold. And Alex was like, we got to get out of here. And, I mean, you could hear it outside just like I mean, it was like snow whistling, wind whistling. You know, there was like travel advisories and stuff like that. So I called. Melissa had offered for us to come and stay at her house. I can't remember. We wanted to stay somewhere real close. And so, because like Alex's mom had offered for us to stay there too, and Tanya was like, if you want to come over here and stay. But Tanya had somebody staying with her at that time, I think. So Melissa was like, well, just come over here and stay until your electricity's back on. Like, just stay the night. And she was like, but they had just gotten their dog. I think it was, they had just gotten their dog, their puppy. And so she was like, is there like, but I don't know that he'll do okay around, you know, the dogs. And so I called Tanya and I was like, can we board them until our electricity is on? Because people, the electric company was saying they didn't know it might not be on until like 3 or 4 days. And in fact, ours went on the next day, but there were like houses and out that still didn't have electricity for like up to like 5 and 6 days later. It was like really bad. And so I called Tanya and I said, can I just come and bring the dogs? And then that way I know they're safe no matter what, and we can just sleep on whoever's couch. And Tanya was like, yeah, totally. So Tanya met Alex and I at the kennel, and I can remember driving in the snow, and it was like, I could hardly even see like 10 feet in front of my car. And it was so like windy and blowing snow outside. So we get the dogs to the kennel. They're all like warm and toasty at the kennel, right? Tanya, I remember, put them in like her office and got them little beds and stuff like that. And then Alex and I drove back to Melissa's, and Melissa made us chili dinner that night. And we all had blankets, and she made a fire in the fireplace, and we watched some movie. I don't remember what we watched, some scary movie, I think. But anyway, so then Jason goes upstairs because he is tired, and you know, he's like, I have to work tomorrow, even if, you know, unless there's no electricity at the office. And Alex is like, yeah, I have to work tomorrow too, unless like, you know, they call and say that, which they did call the next day and say, don't come into work because we have no electricity. We had electricity at our house, but I can't remember how long it was for like businesses and stuff, because like the next couple days, like schools were closed, everything was closed. But anyway, and I remember Melissa and I stayed up real late watching a movie downstairs, and I was like, I don't want this to end. She made the cheese machine. The cheese machine's like the crock pot where she puts hot cheese and then you get like nachos out of it. And so she put Alex and I in the guest bedroom. And I was so comfy on the couch down there. And I remember, like, I put my fan up in the living room, and she left the fireplace going, and I just slept in the down in the living room. I, like, turned the TV off finally, and it was, like, pitch black out there, and I could hear, like, the tree branches, like, bending in the wind, and it was snowing and stuff, and that was, like, a really cozy moment, too. Because I can remember looking out that window, and it was just like all this snow, and the trees were like bending and stuff. And then I woke up the next morning, and we had electricity back at our house. And I was like, I don't want the blizzard to be over. I still text Melissa every once in a while, and I'm like, I wish we were having a blizzard. And she was like, me too, just come over and we'll fake it. That was so much fun. Sleepovers. Sleepovers. Melissa and Jason got back from Florida today. I think they were getting in late, though. I can't wait to see my 50th anniversary Disney Starbucks tumbler that Melissa brought me. Did I tell you about that, or did I say it on the review video? She sent it to me, and I'm really excited about it. Or she sent me a picture showing me that. She was like, I stood in 2 lines, but then the next day it was funny because on this like Facebook group that I'm on for like Starbucks cups, somebody posted them, and they had like had a whole wall of them. They were all just like standing there, and she was like, they're just here for you to come up and take. And then Melissa was like, I stood in 2 lines for these. She got herself one too. She was real excited about it. That was sweet of her to do that though. I'm really excited about that. Oh man. Well, folks, I think we've come to the end of the vlog, that is. I think we've come to the end of the vlog because I want to listen to my audiobook and it is already 3 o'clock and I don't need to be out until 6 a.m., which I'll probably get into this book or either the podcast and then be like up forever and be like, oh my God, what did I do? But anyway, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Thursday. And I love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Oh, and for anybody that wants to hear it, one more I love you. I love you guys and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.